Hey guys, glad you stopped by. Tonight for dinner, we are going to make lasagna soup. Now, I wasn't aware of this thing ever. I guess it's been around for a minute, not a long minute, but a minute. And it sounds really good. It was even a viral thing for a second. Didn't know that either. I'm just not that caught up on the times, I guess. There are times I think I'm on top of things, and then other times, not so much. But anyhow, it popped up on my feed, and I thought, this sounds really good. So I did change it up a little bit, added a couple things that would be pertinent to what I thought would be good. But all in all, the recipe's pretty close to the original. I got it off of the original off of Southern Living, I think. Yeah. And it was a recipe from mid last year, I think. I don't remember, but anyhow. I think it's going to be good all the same. It's got, hamburger and sausage, Italian sausage in it. It's got lasagna noodles, of course. What would lasagna be with a soup? Lasagna soup be without lasagna noodles? It's got garlic. It's got some ricotta cheese we're going to dollop on it. It's got some green peppers. It's got some onions. It's just got a whole lot of love. So that being said, if this is your first video, welcome. I hope you get some out of this video. Check out some of my others. If you are returning or one of my new subscribers, thank you for coming back. Thank you for subscribing. Hey, that's awesome. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. That's what keeps us in the algorithm, keeps the neighborhood growing. And that's important, I think. And comments always welcomed. Just be nice. Think before you type. You don't have to agree with me, with somebody in the comments, but just be nice if you respond in a disagreement. If not, the consequences are severe. But anyhow, that being said, let's head on down here to the countertop and we'll get started making this bad boy. Hold on for me 1 second. Okay, so we are down here at the counter. Now, the first thing we need to do is play with the ricotta, because it's going to go back in the fridge and sit. So in this bowl, I have 8 ounces of ricotta cheese, which is about a half a small container. For whatever reason, they don't sell, at least around here, 8-ounce containers of ricotta cheese, which is okay. I'll use the other half. And to this, I'm going to add 2 ounces of, which is about almost 3/4, 2/3 of a cup of finely shredded Parmesan cheese. And we're going to put that in there. And then the next thing we're going to put in there, as soon as I find the, yep, there it is, the measuring spoon, is 1/8 of a teaspoon of nutmeg. Maybe that's a thing. It kind of threw me off, I'm not gonna lie. I found that a bit strange. Nutmeg, the only thing I've ever used nutmeg for is to bake with, although I know you can cook with it. But we're gonna give this a good quick mix, and then we can stick it in the fridge and start the soup. All right, got that put in the fridge. So now what we need to do next is go ahead and start making our soup, right? So in this pot, I already have 1 tablespoon of oil, and it's heating up. And I'm going to go ahead and kick that to about medium high. I've had it on medium low to medium, just to get her going. That way it didn't smoke us out of house and home, so to speak, while we're making our ricotta dish. So we got our 1 pound of hamburger, 1 pound of Italian sausage. And I'm going to go ahead and put this in here, and we're going to get this nice and brown. Okay, so, excuse me. Our sausage and hamburger are browned and crumbled. I've got a bowl sitting right here with a paper towel in it. And what we're going to do next is we're going to pull this meat out of the pot, but we want to leave the oil and grease and whatnot in there. There's not a whole, oddly enough, there's not a whole lot of grease in there. I thought there would be. I'm using 80/20 meat. Now I used to spend the extra money and get like the 93.7 and all the expensive meat. But realistically, 80/20 is about perfect for everything. It's a good general purpose meat. Okay, so we got our meat out of there. I can hear the oil and the little bit of, it's actually sausage grease, it looks like, it's in there going. Now I've got 1 medium onion that I've diced up, well, finely chopped, and 1 green pepper that I finely chopped. I'm gonna go ahead and get these in here, and we're gonna let these cook for about 5 minutes. You know, we'll stir them on occasion, but we're gonna get we wanna get that onion caramelized, softened, you know, get it a good look. And we want the green peppers to soften up also. All right, we are nice and caramelized. I'll show you here real quick if you can see it. You know, the onions are about translucent. They got a nice brown on them. The green peppers are soft, and that's about where we want it to be. So now I've got 4 cloves of minced garlic. Well, I use my garlic press. I'm lazy like that. And I'm gonna put that in there. And I'm gonna also add 1 teaspoon of Italian seasoning to it. And then we're gonna let this run for about a minute, you know, until we can start to smell that garlic. Now, here's the important thing about the garlic. You don't want to cook it too long, and you don't want to let it sit. So you want to sit here and kind of give it a stir. It doesn't take long. If you let it sit and it starts to burn, it makes whatever you're making, your dish, very bitter. And I'm not going to tell you that I know from experience, but you know, I had somebody tell me once, so to speak. But we get this cooked up, and then we can move on. All right, I can smell our garlic. It smells fantastic. This whole thing looks wonderful. The next thing we're going to put in here, I've got 2 15-ounce can of diced tomatoes, and I'm leaving the juice in with it. Get that in there. Give that a good stir around. And anything that's stuck to the bottom, meat, bits from the Italian seasoning, maybe a piece of garlic or 2, who knows, will come loose and be in it. And then we are going to add 6 cups of chicken broth, you know, or stock or whatever you have readily available. I know broth can be expensive. Stock is not horribly expensive, but it's still kind of pricey. But we're going to add that to the dish. And then we are going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, like such. And we're going to add 1.5 tablespoons of sugar to this. Now you're thinking to yourself, sugar? I mean, some of you may know this because you guys are really very smart. We have so much acidity going into this that the sugar actually balances the acidity, which is awesome. So what we need to do now is we're going to bring this up to a boil. Yeah, I believe. Yep. Gonna bring this to a boil, then we can move on to the next step. Okay, so we got our soup up to a nice rolling boil now. I mean, nothing like, bruh, but you know, good. So now I have about 8 ounces, about a half a 1 pound package of lasagna noodles that I broke up into 1.5 2-inch pieces. Now, these don't break up easy, so if they're not exactly 1.5 2-inch pieces, it's okay. You break them up to however you like them. And I'm gonna go ahead and get these in here, and I'm gonna let these cook about 8 minutes, or you want them to cook whatever your package says for your noodles. Like mine says 10 to 13 minutes, depending on desired tenderness, but I want these to be al dente because they're gonna, you know, cook a little bit longer. So once we hit that 8-minute mark, I will, you know, check them and see where we're at. And I mean, if they have to go another minute or so, great, but I don't want them to cook much longer than that. Okay, so we've been 8 minutes on our noodles. So I made a last-minute judgment call. I was reading on a couple of the other recipe sites for this. They were talking about if you wanted your soup to be a little thicker, just add some cornstarch to it. I think I'm gonna go for that. Why not? So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take a little 1/4 cup of my sauce there, and I'm gonna go ahead and mix in a 1/4 teaspoon of cornstarch, because I don't want it to turn into a stew, so to speak, but I want it to, you know, get a little more thickness to it. Because, I mean, let's be honest, soup is good, especially on colder days, but It's not horribly filling all the time. Although we are going to just simply have this with some bread. I think that would be good. So we go ahead, got that in there. I'm going to go ahead and pour that back in like such. And you always want to dissolve your cornstarch before you put it into the main thing. So you always want to mix it into something else. I could have put water in with that, or chicken stock. But I thought, since I decided last minute, let's just put that in. All right, so we got that in. Next thing we're going to put in is 1 tablespoon of red wine vinegar. Which, if you've never had red wine vinegar, which I'm sure you guys have, amazing. Yeah, but there might be somebody out there that hasn't. And then we will go ahead and put our hamburger and sausage back in, and try not to dump it all over me or plop it all over the place. I think that would be a good deal. There is that. Whew, that's a fair amount of oil in it. That's awesome. All right, so all I'm going to do now is let this cook for another minute. What it's going to do is it's going to let the hamburger and the sausage warm back up. It's going to give that vinegar time to get in there and do its thing, and get to know everybody that we've put in. And that cornstarch to thicken her up a little bit. So when I come back, I'll have everything cleaned up, and we'll give her a try. All right, see you here in a sec. Okay, got everything cleaned up, and we're back in shape here. I'll get you over here so you can hopefully get to see the soup. Whoa. Sorry about that. And there is our accomplishment. Sorry about that, I'm trying to do this one-handed. But I'm here to tell you, the house smells wonderful. This looks fantastic. I mean, hands down, just fantastic. Looks just like the picture, so to speak. And so I think we are going to be in good shape, but we won't know. Well, I made a mess of that. I'm always trying something new, but we won't know until we give it a try. So I'm going to go ahead and get some of this loaded up in my bowl here. That way we can give it a look. Now, I added that little bit of cornstarch in there, and it may not do anything. I don't know, but I didn't want to, like I said, I didn't want to turn it into a stew. It's supposed to be a soup. But if it does get too thick for you, you can always add more chicken stock to it, or just add some water. It won't hurt anything. So the next thing I need to do is I'm going to go ahead and put a dollop of the ricotta cheese in there. I'm going to I've got some shredded mozzarella off to the side here. I'm going to put that on there. And then the last thing I'm going to put on here, I forgot to get out. Give me 1 second, I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. I forgot the dried basil. Now you can use fresh basil too. We're just using it for garnish. And I'm just going to sprinkle that on top. To give it a good look. I think the original recipe called for like a 1/4 cup of fresh baby basil, which is just small basil leaves, and that's great. I couldn't find any at the store, even if I wanted to, but I just thought, well, I got dried basil, I can use that. But there we are. That's our finished dish right there. I think it looks fantastic. It smells good. It smells wonderful. It's hot, for sure. So let's get you guys up here, so that way I can talk to you eye to eye. That's important. And I'll just grab a towel real quick, because like I said, this bowl is rather warm. The soup is rather warm. So I'm going to go ahead and get that ricotta kind of broken apart in there. Now you can also put heavy cream in this. I did not. This particular recipe didn't call for it, but you could. And if you want to do that, I would start with a 1/4 cup, which will also help it thicken it up and give it richness, just like the cornstarch would. Completely up to you. See, there's just so many options, but all the same, that is some ooey gooeyness right there. Let's give her a try. That's crazy because it tastes just like lasagna, just in soup form. Wow, that is really good. I'll eat the whole bowl. Sit right here. I don't want to do that to you. That is really good. I mean, really good. I can't think of anything I would add to that or take away from it. It's got a wonderful Italian flavor. It tastes just like a lasagna. You know, like a red sauce meat lasagna. I'm not hating on it. Not by any means. Give this a try. Let me know if you do. I don't think you'll be disappointed. You let me know down in the comments below or over on Facebook. Whatever works easiest for you. If you're looking for us over on Facebook, we're at Mr. Smith's Kitchen. We have a group over there. Or you can just find me on Facebook with my page, or we also have a business page now over there, but it's for our bakery. But you can leave me a comment anywhere. I'm on Instagram also. We're talking about Twitter, but I don't know about all that. You're right. No, yeah, Twitter. I don't know. TikTok. Yeah, TikTok, not Twitter. See, old person syndrome. But anyhow, let me know if you do try this, or if you have one that you make that you do things differently. It would be awesome to hear what your variations are, because there's a lot of variations. It's basically, what do you put in your lasagna in soup form? And I think that's awesome. Then I like diversity. I hate anybody that says, well, traditionally it's made. Well, what's traditional? But anyhow, that's a whole other topic for a whole other day. Tomorrow for dessert, I don't know. I'm not a clue at all. But I'm sure we'll figure out something that will be quite delicious, incredibly sweet, probably not healthy for you at all, but good all the same, I think. So, like I said, if you give this a try, let me know. But until tomorrow, I love you. I love you very much, and I mean that from the bottom of my heart. Tell somebody else that you love them and you love them very much. They may need to hear it. It's going to make them feel good either way, probably make them smile a little. It's going to make you smile. It's going to make you feel good to tell them that. And if you make them some of this lasagna soup, I guarantee you're going to put a smile on their face, which is probably going to lead to an evening of conversation and good times. And you can't argue that. You can invite neighbors over and try this. They'll love it. They'll think you're amazing. And you're going to make friends. Friends are important, and communication. But either way, somebody's going to smile with you and have a lot of conversation. So till tomorrow for dessert, I love you, and I'll see you then. All right, talk to you later. Bye-bye.